Hi, my name is Joe Grosseto. As you can tell, I'm Joe Grosseto Sr. The name of the company is Dynamic Sheet Metal Limited, and we're at 192 24th Street in Brooklyn, New York. We were the part of the HVAC team that worked on the project in Brighton Beach for Robert Scarano, who's been a good friend for many, many years. We were instrumental in hanging all of the equipment in the building, connecting it sheet metal wise and refrigeration wise, and we hung the ERV units, we hung the air handlers, did some of the control wiring to make the system work. Okay. When we first started, the building was a raw product. It was basically four walls and a roof and floors between. So we instituted with Bob and Mike Parisi where the machines were going to go within the apartment complexes, the air handlers and the ERV units and the ventilation systems. And we put the system together, hung the systems off the existing joist or a ceiling structure. And then we ducted them out to the various rooms with registers and grills and connected the central ventilation systems, both supply and return. And that's basically what we did. I think it's very innovative. I think it's new, and like I said before, anything that's new to the industry is usually taken with skepticism. But however, I think there's a need for it because of the confines of our city and the city life that we live and the closeness within the city that we all live within. So I think it's an innovative system. I think it's an innovative concept, and I think it's the beginning of something that's going to become much larger in scope. I know it is in major retail establishments, commercial establishments, and at this level, which is the homeowner or apartment dweller, whichever the case might be. And also the cost effectiveness of the system, once it's correctly tuned, it should be relatively inexpensive to gain the heating and the cooling that we require to operate anyway. I'm sure it will. Once I think it's going to be a good system once it gets fine-tuned and it's operational, and after the construction teams are all gone and the building is free of the paints and lacquers and various sealing compounds that we use throughout. Once the building is cleaned up and cleaned out, I think it's going to be very good for people with those kinds of conditions. I think it's an innovative system. I think it's new. And with new, there's always going to be a little bit of a problem, but nothing that can't be worked out. Cost effectiveness, cleanliness, leaving less of a footprint on the earth. I think it's going to be a good system overall. Once the concept gets refined and it's able to be installed in larger quantities and bigger projects, I think it's going to be a good thing. I really do, and I think Robert Scarano is really an innovative guy. That he's at the forefront. He's always been at the forefront, in my opinion, in design and now in the green project. Oh, absolutely. I think it's been a long time coming. As an older fellow myself, I mean, it's something new to me. But the younger generation seem to be very upbeat and enthusiastic about it. I know my own son is, and he's involved in the business. He was worked with Robert Scarano in helping in the design element and the operation of the element with the geothermal and all of the intricacies of the project. But I think the younger generation actually wants it, and I think that's the future of this particular type of green project. Oh, I think, like I said in the beginning of the interview, I think that the newness of the structure, okay, which is it's different from the traditional buildings in this particular area, but I think it's going to be accepted. I don't think it's that different from the outside looking in, but from the inside looking out, it's totally different concept, and that should be appealing to them. I mean, if for argument's sake, to operate this particular apartment, if it's, let's just say, $100 a month, and it's similar floor space and the building across the tracks might cost them $500 a month. So, I mean, where would you rather be? To be honest with you, the way compared to this, what was built 50 years ago, and I've been in the construction industry for 50 years, compared to what the way this building is built, there's no comparison. They were, it was almost a cave dwelling 50 years ago with the heating and the cooling compared to what we have now. Okay, I think the insulation, the way the building was supported, I think the thickness of the walls, the tempered glass, the thickness of the glass, the reusable heating that's being wasted on the older buildings. When energy was cheap, it didn't matter. People had steam heat and radiators. They had the windows open because there was no control. Today, with the cost of energy, it's not warranted to leave windows open when you're paying for the heat going out the window. I think it's very innovative, very innovative. Absolutely. I think that this is the way to go. This really is the way to go, and I think I think the reception to it has been good. I haven't been to all of the meetings where Robert had with other architects and design firms, but I think there was a lot of interest in it, and you see more and more of it, whether it's in the commercial aspect of the real estate industry or the residential. You even see it in manufacturing. And today, everybody, the car manufacturers, boat manufacturers, utility manufacturers, they're all, getting into this green mode. So it's a thing that is just it's my concern, in my opinion, it's in its infancy right now. Um, Me personally, at my age, I just want a little bit more room, but I don't see living with the concepts that were installed here. I think it would be good for me. I really do. At my age, I think it would be very helpful, economical. I think it would be good things for me. Just I would like a little bit more space. I just require a little bit more space. But that's a personal thing. Nothing said about the apartments being small or anything. It just could I live in the concept of a green building? Absolutely, absolutely. Well, I think working with Robert was an experience. Working with Mike Parisi was an experience. I mean, we all learned. There were times when we got on one another's nerves, but that's to be expected on any project, not only this particular one. This one had its drawbacks because there's a lot of newness to the concepts. And like I said in the beginning of the interview, newness always brings some concern, whether it be monetary or am I doing the right thing or is it being installed correctly. So, it's a learning process for all of us. Robert, Mike, myself, all the other trades involved in the building. But I think in the final analysis, I think it's all going to be good. I think it's all going to be good, and I think it'll be a showcase.